Okay, we're given the function f of x equals the square root of 5x minus 3. We want to know what f of 2 is. Now, we have f of x. We've replaced x by 2 to get f of 2. Well, if we replace x by 2 here, we have to replace x by 2 over here. So we replace this x by 2, we get 5 times 2 minus 3, and that equals what it equals, the square root of 7. Okay? Now, what about f of 7? Well, now 7 has replaced x. X has been replaced by 7, so x has to be replaced by 7. We get 5 times 7 minus 3, square root of 32. Okay, now what about f of negative square root of 3? Well, the same thing. X has been replaced by negative square root of 3, so we better replace x by negative square root of 3. We get 5 times the negative square root of 3 minus 3, and that equals what it equals. And not much way to simplify that. Negative 5 square root of 3 minus 3. What about f of a? Well, it should be getting monotonous by now. X has been replaced by a. So x gets replaced by a. We have the square root of 5 times a minus 3. Okay, what about f of a plus b? Well, x has now been replaced by a plus b. Now, when we do this, people are going to want to look at f of a plus b and say, well, f of a is this, so f of a plus b is just this plus b. Well, if you do this right, that doesn't make any sense at all. Okay, but that's a very common thing for people to do because we're so used to doing math by superstition that we just follow the pattern we think ought to work and don't worry about whether it's the right pattern or not. Okay, what? F of a plus b is what? We replace x by a plus b. That means here's x. That has to be replaced by the quantity a plus b. So we have 5 times the quantity a plus b minus 3. That would be, of course, 5a plus 5b minus 3 under the square root sign. Okay, well, let's go. Now, this is one of my favorites. What's f of aardvark? Well, f of aardvark, don't know what that might mean. It seems kind of weird, but we can certainly write down what it would be. X has been replaced by aardvark, so x has to be replaced by aardvark. Now, it might be prudent to put parentheses around this aardvark here, so we don't regard that as a product of variables a times r times, etc. Okay? And I have no idea how to interpret 5 times aardvark. Well, maybe 5 aardvarks. And 5 aardvarks minus 3, well, it doesn't say 3 what? 5 aardvarks minus the number 3, does some of them carry a number 3 on them? I don't know. And square root of 5 aardvarks minus 3, whatever 5 aardvarks minus 3 might mean. What in the world does that mean? Okay, well, no meaning, but that's exactly what the function says to do. So whether you understand the meaning or not, you write it down exactly as it is, and you do the algebra exactly as the algebra would be done. Now, I think algebra stops right here at this point on this function, but you at least did what you could, and you can feel good about that. Okay, we have f of x plus h. So f of x plus h, well, x has been replaced by x plus h. So this x has to be replaced by x plus h. Now, again, people will very frequently say f of x plus h is the square root of 5x minus 3 plus h. That's not where the h goes. The h is part of what replaces the x. So we have 5 times the quantity x plus h minus 3. Square root of, and, you know, we can expand that if we wish, but that's what we have. Okay, now, a couple of other examples, but we'll do that in a separate video.